The June 2022 Employment Situation Report showed positive job gains across the economy. Plus, there were indications that a recession may be staved off in the short term, but the economy isn't totally out of the mud quite yet. So the BLS reported 372,000 non-farm payrolls, or jobs more colloquially, added in June of 2022. That's a slight dip from 384,000 added in May, but many analysts project that this is actually above what they were expecting for the month. The private sector saw the most growth, with 381,000 new jobs, while the public sector saw a slight loss of about 9,000 jobs. Unemployment remained consistent for the fourth month in a row, settling in at around 3.6%. But the big takeaway for B2B is looking at which industries saw the most growth, both in from May to June, as well as from June to June. So healthcare, leisure and hospitality, and professional and business services all saw particular job growth. Food service and drinking places alone made up nearly 2/3 of hospitality job growth. Ambulatory healthcare services added thousands of new jobs, and we saw substantial growth in computer system jobs as well as management positions. So, naturally, we got to ask, why growth in these industries? I did a little digging and came up with a few trends that may shed some light on the situation. So, year over year, leisure and hospitality added 1.6 million jobs. That's June to June. Now, this growth is likely due to a return to form from the U.S. consumer. As COVID concerns evaporated, travel numbers picked back up, and consumers re-embraced the services that they put on pause during the pandemic. They were met with an industry that had just hemorrhaged a major portion of its workforce, so naturally, brands and companies would want to entice workers to come back en masse to support this increased demand. There could also be a correlation here with work from home and the change in lifestyle that comes with it. As more people adapt to hybrid work models and minimize their day-to-day human interactions, it's easy to see why your local Smoothie King or Starbucks would see an uptick in customers, and why food service jobs led the last year of job growth in the hospitality and leisure industry. Now, in the professional services sector, computer systems jobs played the largest role in new jobs added, a little more than 1/10 of the 1.2 million professional service jobs in the last year. Now, we should keep our eye on a few trends here to understand this boom. An increase in telework and hybrid work models opens opportunities for a more diverse hiring pool in this field, as well as adds a layer of support roles, often IT roles, to indeed support a remote work infrastructure. Companies have also been adopting more robust network infrastructure in general, adding IoT devices, cloud and edge processing, and more data-rich software tools to their portfolios. And then with that, high-profile cybersecurity breaches in almost every industry over the last year have been pushing both cybersecurity strategies and roles to have to mature and expand in scope. Now, the growth in management roles is a little trickier to decipher, but could be due to a surprising return of retirees to the office. We saw senior level professionals who retired early now facing a tough inflationary economic climate, and some studies are showing that it's drawing them back to the office. So all that experience re-entering the workforce could be motivating more leadership roles. We're also seeing more hybrid work environments and a growing share of the economy being made up by gig workers. So all those remote, decentralized workers, of course, require management. Now, in the healthcare sector, we saw year-over-year losses in care labor jobs like nursing homes and residential care facilities. However, month to month, the same field gained around 8,000 new jobs. Trends behind this shift in jobs could be attributed to the long-term COVID-related loss in care labor talent, as the strains of the job got to be too overwhelming in the middle of a pandemic. But month to month, we can also point to a short-term growing need for care labor professionals, which could be in part due to a growing number of long COVID patients, with the American Academy of Physical Medicine clocking in chronic COVID patients at 25 million. About 30% of COVID patients develop long COVID symptoms. Year over year, positions at various traditional care facilities, from physicians' offices to outpatient care facilities, gained 284,000 positions. Finding the why on this one is probably the easiest one. Healthcare roles are profitable avenues for stable and successful careers. Take Indeed's recently released top jobs of the year list. 4 of the top 10 best and highest paying jobs are in healthcare. And the number 1 spot is registered nurses, with a 34% increase in job postings between 2019 and 2022. So there are a lot of moving pieces influencing job growth in these various industries and across the whole economy, but there's plenty of uncertainty still, with fears of a coming recession and an inflationary climate. So I'll keep my pulse to it and share some updates as they hit my desk. That's it for this week's Economic Update.